Welcome back to the channel, and let's build up to the final weekend of, well, I still haven't got used to Quilter, Nation Series, Autumn Internationals, November Tests, End of Year Tests, whatever you want to call it. It's been an absolute festival of international rugby. One final weekend with all the teams in action. We're going to throw the spotlight on France against Australia, touch upon all of the other games. But first, Joe Worsley, who is somewhere in central Perpignan. How's it going there? Week off from top 14. How's it been going at the coalface?
It's been a busy week. This weekend, massive game against Montpellier. Been building up for that. Yeah, just really we can talk about that next week. An incredible match. Got to play it at Béziers because some fans got involved in the fight on the pitch when Racing were here. That happens. Get the bell out, ding ding, for that one if you want. But it's just a huge game. So the week's been really focused, intense, and I'm hoping we'll see in the game some of the stuff we've done in training. Obviously, it's the first game we've had together, so things will go wrong. Just got to hope enough goes right to win the game and then start to fix everything, get it better, upgrade it week by week.
Well, bon chance for the weekend. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that next week. One of the big stories from a French rugby perspective, Louis Bielbiere being nominated for World Player of the Year. He has been a cheat code, hasn't he? In the last 12 months.
Yeah, I mean, he's phenomenal. It's not, I mean, he's young, but it's not a surprise, is it? It's not a surprise. Was there 3 South Africans and him? Anyone else in the mix?
No, that was it. Malcolm Marks, Oxenchae, Peter Steph Toy, and him. I thought it was a little harsh, maybe. I mean, they're all really worthy of being on the list, but I felt a little bit. I thought Dan Sheehan and actually Maru Itoje has had an amazing last 12 months. Captain the Lions to a series win, ever present in England's team that have won 10 games this year. So, there's a few people that will feel maybe hard done by, but Louis Bielbiere, I back that one. The interesting one on whether he wins, because a lot of people have pointed out he didn't go on tour in July to New Zealand, and France have been a bit under par this month. But I think it also includes last November when he was outrageous. And between last November and the Six Nations, he scored 12 tries in 8 games.
Yeah, and European Cup, he was off the hook as well. So
yeah, they don't count club rugby, which is crazy as well. But they don't know. I know they don't count club rugby at all. It's just internationals.
Didn't know that. Didn't know that was one of the rules.
Yeah. So one Englishman has won it before. I'm trying to think. That must have been.
Who was that?
There's one Englishman has won it. I was just trying to think who it is. Was it Johnny Wilkinson?
It must have been.
It must have been 2003. It must have been. Yeah. It must have been Johnny Wilkinson in 2003. So I was going to say.
Sure. Who else? Who else could it be?
I don't know. But anyway, so no Englishman this time, but LBB is on the list, and he is part of this French team. The team that's been announced for Australia. What do you make of that side then? If I run through it, Jean-Baptiste Gros.
Yeah, Julien a lot of people. Gros one interesting one. A lot of French were disappointed he didn't start against South Africa, but as part of that policy of maybe bringing people off the bench. Anyway, he's a fantastic player.
But interesting, like, because the front row looks okay. You've got Regis Montagne as the tight head prop. He's played in every game in this November Test series.
It's wise giving him a series of games to allow him to try and just actually stake a claim. You can't just flip-flop to someone else. He's a bit overweight. Maybe he needs to lose some pounds, so he's mobile enough to play at the international level, where the ball's in play for a lot minutes longer than it is in the top 14. They give him another go.
But the flip side, you could argue that that's exactly what Fabien Galtier has done to Guillaume Cramont, because he played against South Africa, found the going tough, and he has not been seen since with Maxime Lamotte.
Yeah, he's still really young, though, as well. So there's a decision around that one as to, oh God, actually, is he ready for this yet? Because front row playing at that level, you develop in the front row a little bit later than everyone else. So maybe they're thinking like that. That still, he's a class act, Cramont. He's really good.
Yeah, he's really good. But if you were just going to play him in one game, you'd think. If you were just going to play him in one game, you'd think, because you want to see how he goes at international level, play him against Fiji, not against the Box in the opening matchup. But easy to say after the fact, I guess.
Maybe he picked up a knock as well. We don't know about that.
Yeah,
the training knock. It could be.
That very familiar combo. In fact, the back five of the scrum feels quite nostalgic already. Flamand, Meafu, Gelon, Olivon and Aldrit.
Yeah, with Olivon and Flamand, obviously the line-out becomes far more dangerous. Shazlon's not bad in the air. Now, those two give you a good line-out. And then Miafu, if he's on form, gives you that physicality. Shazlon gives you physicality. Aldrit's just massive number of actions, handling the ball, picking, playing a quick and pick and goes, really quick, really intelligent, loads of tackles, steals the ball, just gives you loads of action. So it's a great balance. But obviously Aldrit has not been firing all cylinders. He's got a few knocks. He's got a knee that's dust a bit, but still, I think he's still, when he's on form, an incredible player. Just if he can maintain that thing. It's the old back row situation. As you reach the 30s, you start to feel your body a bit more, and it's a bit tougher doing what you could do before. But he's still pretty good. He just had a start to the season is a bit average. Players like him can really make a team like France attack better and defend better.
We do miss out on the Miafu Skelton matchup, which would have been fun, but
yeah,
never mind.
Battle of a dinosaur battle rematch.
Yeah, two Aussies as well, which just an interesting little subplot that would have been. But the back line, Le Garrec is injured. Oh, Boudahont is injured, by the way. That's why he's not involved. Le Garrec is injured. So Baptiste Jeannot, who on the channel, the interview you had with Sean Edwards before November, that was one of the names that he identified as someone he's really excited about.
Nuggety Diamond.
No, Nuggety Diamond, exactly. Go and check out that interview in the channel. So he's on the bench behind Maxime Lucu with Roman and Tomac, Ficou and Deportier, who I thought worked quite nicely together last week. BLB, Peno and Ramos, that very familiar back three with...
Deportier did pretty well. Did you see that handoff he did on Tuasova?
Yeah.
That was
Not many
pretty
people
special.
do that.
That's pretty incredible because he's a slight guy, but he can be quite physical. He's a good defender. So is Ficou. So I mean that's one area maybe they struggle with the physicality side against South Africa was that back line. And against Australia, it's going to be less of an issue. Australia got a couple of guys who are pretty tasty carrying. I'll have to wait and see. But
yeah, Ikitau and Suali in the midfield are pretty dangerous.
Yeah, that first game, France didn't attack as well as they needed to have any chance of winning that game. I'm sure we're going to see them attacking better in this one because they went 21 points up against Fiji and then they lost the kind of game management a bit and started to play a bit too much, giving Fiji options. Fiji really did play well in that game. Fiji played very well in this autumn series. Against England, they were really impressive. I was very... the tactics, the calmness under pressure, not giving away penalties. Their ability to offload and attack speaks for itself. It's just, and they did the same against France. Really impressive series from them so far. But they pushed France. One of the reasons was France did give them quite a few options. So I don't think they'll do that against Australia. We'll have to see.
When you've had a little look at the stats, you love your little stat sheets. What have you spotted when you look at this matchup?
Stats are great. Yeah, I had a little look. Australia, because I wanted to kind of get a rough idea. What have Australia done so far? How are they going to do against France? Listen, stats don't tell you everything. The joy of watching French rugby is when they know to accelerate the play because they see this guy's running to that guy and that guy's next to him. They can just work out ching, ching, ching and go and do amazing things. And stats would never really tell you that. Australia's stats are pretty... I mean, against Ireland, it was diabolical. Their attack was... They made 17 turnovers. And they had two line breaks, and they had much less possession than Ireland. Ireland dominated them possession-wise and territory-wise. England gave them the ball. They played hangman, gave them the ball in their half, and let them play and killed them that way. And played on the good moments. Australia couldn't deal with that one either. So you got to worry when a team plays hangman against you, another team just dominates possession and territory against you. That's two really ominous signs. Listen, how many games have they played in the last few
France?
months?
2.
Yeah, but
Australia this year have played. Australia this year, by the weekend, they will have played something like 13 matches.
Yeah, that's
since
intense
July,
as well. And flying around as well. It's all really intense. So honestly, without two of their key players, is Valentini playing or not?
He's on the bench. Skelton is not there. I mean, their 9 and 10 is a bit of an issue. They're missing one or two others. Tom Wright, their fullback, main guy. Tate McDermott, one of their scrum halves. So they're missing a few key guys.
Yeah,
but I think you're right. They're just. I wouldn't be surprised if they're not just knackered, which would also which would also identify why they managed to shred South Africa game 1 and why they are struggling to make line breaks in whatever game this is now.
Yeah, I mean, that game was incredible where they were 22 points down though, and we talked about South Africa maybe not kicking, like basically doing what France did against Fiji and stopping kicking at the right times and then just giving up opportunities, and then Australia just leapt on each one of them with some incredible performance, really an incredible performance from Australia. And the character they showed in the Lions series as well made you think, oh, wow, this team's really changed direction. But this period they've just had at Italy, Ireland, England, and I think against France, with the stats you're looking at, the poor attack, the defence being pretty poor, their kick game, their kicks per minute are pretty low. Listen, again, we'll come back to the fact that you kick for a reason. You kick because it's on in the backfield. You kick because your attack's poor and you've been slowed down and you've got to kick. So there are many reasons for kicking. I'll come back to that. But a lot of good teams who are good at kicking, they're good at attack, they're good in defence. They'll have a ratio that's quite high nevertheless. Ireland kicked way over two per minute of possession in that game. Australia were nowhere near that. So it's kind of, even when kicking that much, Ireland still dominated possession. It's crazy. So yeah, Australia really weak across a number of different areas of the game, which really suggests this game's going to be one-sided in Paris.
Interesting. We can't leave this French team without talking about the man wearing the 23 jersey, making a debut. I mean, I don't know what happened to Paul Coste at Toulouse. He was the bright young thing only a year or so ago, but now they've got a new centre in town who looks the real deal. Calvin, and I'm not exactly sure how I should be saying this.
Apparently, you got to say it's good. It's like good with an R before the D. So try saying good with the R before the D.
Like a D sound, but it's Gues at the end.
Yeah, I'm the same. Obviously,
Gould.
sometimes I read. I hear it, if I hear it, it's fine.
Kevin
But then
Gould.
when I read it, I'm sometimes oof.
Calvin Gould.
Good.
Anyway,
Gourde.
he looks proper.
Calvin Gourde. Sounds like he's from Amsterdam.
He looks proper.
Gourde.
He looks proper, doesn't he, Joe?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's quite powerful. I think that makes a difference, a real difference. Something maybe they're looking for in that French squad, but he's still not massively experienced. So
no, his total number of top 14 appearances 11.
Yeah, and Cremon, who they popped in on the bench in that first game, again he was in a similar situation where he's probably got more. He's actually got much more experience than Gjord. But he's been given the flick really now. Maybe he's injured again. Not sure. That hasn't been announced, but. He's an incredible player, but coming in young. But again, the front row, coming in, the international front rows are different from coming into an international back line. I'd say that much.
It's an interesting call with a guy like Emilien Gaeton. Again, I don't know if he's injured or what, but yeah, it's a big call because he has got maybe 5 starts to his name at the top 14, and now he's playing against Australia for France. So. Yeah, watch this space. So that's the game on Saturday night, and another late kickoff, another light show to finish November. Tactically, what would you say is the thing that France need to do? Because people have been I won't say down on France, but they've been a little bit like they're not hitting their straps yet.
Yeah, they're not attacking as well as they were. That's for sure. Against Fiji, for example, the attack was better than South Africa, but only marginally better. So we talked about when they have time together, yes, there's loads of Toulouse players in the team, which helps, but I think time together makes them attack more easily because the structured side of the game is not less important, but it's not as good as it might be for South Africa. It's not as good as it is for England. Not as disciplined in that area, but they have this brilliant other side to their game. The longer they're together, the better that's going to be. So it was a little bit better after the first game, and this game, hopefully, well, not hopefully, I mean, I'm sure we will see a French team who can produce a bit more genius in attack, which they need to do to beat the best teams anyway.
Do you think that this Nations Championship that's been announced for next year will change France's approach to the July internationals? Now it counts towards something a bit more.
No, it started having discussions in the media here about this amazing thing we've created in the top 14, but is it damaging our national team? It's like the England football team, the soccer team. It's the same story. Yeah, you create this amazing product, but the players are knackered when they get to it. There's long seasons. They can't have much time together. They can get quite a high injury count. So all these areas kind of play against it, whereas New Zealand, South Africa, Australia, well, can't count them at the moment, but Ireland, they all get the players for as much time as they want, pretty much. England are in a halfway house between the two. And France are in a situation, the clubs are given a lot for nothing, but really the international team probably needs more, but I'm not sure it's going to happen with the way the top 14 is going.
Yeah, well, unlike every other union in the world, the international team is not the sole funder of kind of rugby at all levels, which is...
Exactly. I mean, they've just invested massively in the refereeing here. They should have done it years ago, really, but it's the league that put the money in. It's not the federation, who do put money in as well to that, but the league have stumped up a load of cash as well. So the league are really conscious and starting to pay more to make the product better and better, because they've done that for the last 10 to 15 years. It's made this product incredible, and they're starting to make more revenue out of it, which is one of the big reasons they're investing in the refereeing to make that even better. So, yeah, it's
but you're right. There is only so many years that the French national team cannot realise their potential on the biggest of stages. So it's going to be an interesting little push and pull. Yeah,
I mean, the only caveat to that would be, if it does keep growing, are they going to start to bring in the players from other countries that are quite key and affect how those countries prepare for their competitions? I don't know. Will people start doing a Jack Willis? And I don't know if Jack will do that. If he does do it, they call it a Jack Willis maybe, or a player who goes away to play in France for a couple of years and goes back to the home nation before the World Cup. I'm not sure what we're going to see going forward. There will be situations like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good shout. And of course, England are looking to round off a pretty impressive. Since they lost that first game of the year in round one of the Six Nations, have won every single game since. And all of the Steve Borthwick critics have gone quite quiet, Joe.
Yeah, they've settled on. I think the summer was a big moment. Lee Blackett giving the attack something that they now react really well when it's a hard on kicking game, and the team they picked, Freddie Stewart in it, Roebuck, all these players. Really, Mitchell's a blinding player, isn't he? He's so good. He can kick really well, and he can actually accelerate the play really well. He's key. He's key to all, I think. Pumping for George Ford in that team obviously just tells you where you're going to go with that, because he's a player who can play a certain way, but with those massive aerial challenge players out the back, you know what's going to happen. But what they are good at is reacting to those opportunities when they win the contested ball, or someone throws back a really crap kick to them. They're getting a lot better at reacting to those moments, and I think Lee Blackett's done a lot there.
Yeah, it's definitely, and with whatever it was, 11 or 12 or maybe more English players away with the British and Irish Lions, they've also come back with confidence in these guys that were fringe players and are now stepping forward. So yeah, really good stuff there. The big game, I guess, is Ireland against South Africa this weekend.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, because you've sort of looked at some of the stats and how Ireland played. They had a lot of possession against Australia. Is that how you would approach playing South Africa? That seems to me like a recipe for disaster almost. Yeah. I mean, you don't want to kick to them too much.
Yeah, I mean, they had success against them before that World Cup, didn't they? They've
won 4 out of the last 5 games against them, including, well, they won in South Africa last year.
Yeah, they won by 1 point after the World Cup as well.
Yeah.
So I think above all else is their kicking game, their ability. If they get that right, they can keep you in the right part of the pitch. And if they dominate with South Africa, South Africa can throw up. They can throw contestables at the Irish. They're good at it. They can throw long kicks at the Irish. They're good at it. So that side of the game is no longer going to be South African dominated, because the Irish are very good there, because of Gaelic football, because of the number of really good kickers they got and they've recruited over the years. I think it's going to come down to they've been less accurate with their attack of recent years. Now, do they go for their usual game, of against Australia. I think it was like 60% possession. So that was because they put a lot of phases together. But one bad pass, like we talked about before, which they have been doing over the last year, means that it all falls apart and the other team gets suddenly, boom, an opportunity to do something. And you do that against South Africa, we see what they're capable of. Turnovers, we talked about the kicking side of things. This turnover side's another one. Huge moment. They all react and some X-factor guys can just do anything. Now, will Ireland try and say, look, we need to get back to what we're doing really well and we're going to persevere till we get there? Or are they going to lean even heavier into the kicking pressure side of the game and try and beat SA that way?
Well, just on that, just to finish, Joe, because I'm curious with your perspective as a coach and someone that knows what international rugby is all about. It feels like the dial has been turned up again. It never goes away, this kicking game, but it feels like it's just been cranked right up in the last couple of months, back to maybe where it was around the 2019 World Cup.
Yeah, I think there's a difference now. I think the good teams are doing it at the right time. South Africa tried to develop their attack, so sometimes maybe they hold on to it for a few more phases than they did because they're attacking well and the ball's still fast. Whereas if the team's not as good in attack, they will kick it more quickly or more readily. Some teams are completely shut off, like England was shut off to just kicking the crap out of it for a while. That World Cup, my God. That's pretty much all they did. And it was like, we've got to kick this much. So they're kicking for kicking. Whereas if you're kicking to create opportunity or kicking because it's slow and you have to, but then when you get the ball back, you react and go really quickly. There's a plan behind it. So the teams, yes, there's kicking, but I think the teams it's a tool of creation as opposed to something people were doing just
robotically almost.
Yeah, robotically, exactly. Yeah, you could accuse teams of doing in 2019 when things are over-organised. No risk taken at all. Just kick the crap out of it. Play in the right part of the pitch. Don't expose yourself. It's less about that. It's still a factor, but I think teams out the back will step it up and react when the moment comes. Certainly England are.
Definitely. That was one of the things I noticed. Yes, people have talked about England kicking, but what I really did notice that when there was an edge, and the seats you get, halfway up in the stands, you can really get a good picture of it. Oh, there's loads of space here, and as soon as there was, bang, they were going out the back across the line. And yeah, as you say, the good teams can identify that space. Yeah,
exactly. And the good thing about England now is they can maintain that momentum. You get to 4 or 5 phases, 6 phases after. So it all came from a kick situation they won, and then if you stay on top of it, they keep going. Whereas before, teams would have been like, some teams believe in 3 phases and kick it. It was a bit like that, robotic. Being more attached to the game, what's happening in front of you, will make you a far better rugby team.
In that way, I guess we could sort of summarise it. Actually, teams are kind of becoming a little bit more French. Typically French is what what you just described is what you always talk about as kind of the French DNA, that reaction to in the moment.
Yeah, I think transitions for a long time people can talk about. I mean, even in football, it's becoming a much bigger thing. Just using all parts of the game to create these moments where you can go for it. Now, if your attack's brilliant, you can do it with your attack. But a lot of teams use their defence and their kicking game. Just looking at the game in that way is what I think where the game's been going and will go.
Interesting. Bring on the weekend, and we'll be here to dissect it afterwards. Joe, you've got is captain's run a thing in France? You have the team.
Yeah. They still do it over here tomorrow.
Do they call it captain's run or
mise en place, captain's run? Put in place. Yeah, there's various things.
Well, I'll wait and see what the team is, but it's fascinating that the old boy Erda Paletta coming out for one more rodeo. How's he been in camp?
He's brilliant. He only arrived on Sunday. I worked with him at Cast. He's a competitor. He's incredible. Indians create some of the biggest competitors you're ever going to meet. There's a couple of them in our team. I've known loads of them over the years, and he's awesome. Yeah, he's going to get stuck in. Even at 39, he'll get stuck in. Yeah, I'm predicting a handsome France victory as well. We'll have to wait and see. Hey, we both predicted South Africa win against France, didn't we? Yeah. Some people are saying why did you say that France will win? I'm really confused by that.
No, I
didn't remember it clearly.
That was my memories, but who knows? It's been a long month and a load of rugby, so
lot of rugby. Some great rugby. Some teams a bit poor, but yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Joe, Go well, mate, this weekend, and we'll speak on the other side.